everyone, today I'll be reviewing this brand new Swedish thriller/mystery TV series dropped on Netflix. It's called Anxious People, and so this show centers around this kind of son and father. Both of them are cop, and they are investigating this mystery around this bank robber who gets banished in an open house. There was an open house was happening. This bank robber just goes there and vanishes, and this dad and son basically they investigate like where the robber go. What did he just disappear? So that is what the show centers around. So in the show you see all this character who were at the open house. You spend a lot of your time with them, knowing them, what were they doing there. There's many mystery and around all these characters. Some of them were very interesting. What do I think about the thriller? I think the thriller this show has around the dad and like the son, like the relationship they have, the back and forth. If I think about the thriller, I just wish this show didn't centers around this dad and son. If it was like someone else, I think it could have been more interesting and more enjoyable, because the minute you see like their son and dad working on this case and the way the dad he acted in this movie, although he has a reason why he was acting that way, it does take away make you feel like, oh, it's not a real thing we are watching. For some reason I didn't like that the way they portrayed these two characters. Although the son is like, he's really good at his job. He's trying to find out what happened, and throughout the season you see the dad is like trying to hide something, which is you do find out what was he doing that or why he was doing that. But still I thought this show was really very heartwarming, good feeling, centers around New Year's time, which is very interesting. When I was watching I'm like, oh, perfect time, because this show dropped around, after the Christmas. We are getting into that time frame, New Year's, very interesting, honestly. So I had really good time watching this show because, as I was saying, some of these characters' mysteries, they are definitely interesting. Didn't see that coming. Let's talk about the ending. So I'll go to the spoiler now. If you have not seen the show, spoiler warning. So in this show we see who is the actual bank robber is. In episode of 5 and 6 we see dad actually knew the whole time who was the thief, was the bank robber was in the show. And this bank robber, the lady, she is a single mom in this show. You see she is going through a divorce with her husband. She has 2 daughters and she need to get the apartment as quickly as she can, otherwise her kids will be taken away from her, like she will lose their custody. That's why she goes to the bank robbery, because when this show started you can see this bank robber is kind of like she's not good at it, she tried to rob the bank where the trailer, oh, there is no money. I was like there is actually no cash the bank she went to rob. That was very funny, I thought. So when we see her story, actually she is the single mom, and her husband actually cheated on her with her boss, and that's the reason she lost her job. She was actually living in a storeroom. So a lot of heartfelt moment the show has. So when end of this episode 6, you see actually this cop actually let her go, because that is what I guess the dad was trying to tell him, feel for this bank robber, see her and do whatever you think it is right. So of course at the end of this show we see he actually let her go. Okay, so here's the thing, it might not make sense or a lot of stuff in this show, because in real life a cop can be like that. So that is why it's a show made of things. But there is a lot to enjoy, as I was saying. There is a lot of heartfelt scene, and this bank robber, when you hear her story, you really feel sorry for her. So I will say overall this show was a interesting watch for me. But while I see it was interesting watch for me, many people will not like it the way it was done. As I was saying, the dad and the son dynamic, although it does make sense end of it. but you will feel like, oh, it's not real. Because in real life, cop can actually act like that. That is the only thing about this show. Overall, it is still very interesting watch for me. I thought I had really good time watching, because all the acting were really good, and the way the show, like, there was a really heartfelt moment when you see it. You're like, oh, it's so sad. Overall, I thought this show was a okay watch for me. Let me know in the comment what do you think about this show. And if you enjoyed my review, don't forget to check out my other Netflix review. And please subscribe and take care.